Hello, so I'm continuing this series now. I'm going to be setting up inverse kinematics on the other three of my limbs, and then I'm going to cover some options for adjusting how your bones control your mesh so that things are moving more smoothly when you adjust your armature. So first, to duplicate all that work that we did earlier, I'm going to first clear the rotations in pose mode. So Alt G, select all, Alt G, so I know it's all reset. And then I'm going to tab back into edit mode, and I'm going to create my control bones for my other three limbs. So Shift D to duplicate, place it down below the other bone because that's where we found it worked best. Shift D, place here again. Ew. Probably want to do that by pressing 1 before so that you don't. You might notice I just undo a lot of what I do. There we go. That's a better way to do it. So right click, select, Shift D, right click to undo the transform, and just press GX. So yep, moved it where we want it. So these are control bones, so let's name these. So bone menu, this is hand.L.control, and then this one's going to be hand.right.control, and then this foot here is going to be foot.L.control. So I've created these three bones. And then I need to clear the parent for each of them. So clear parent here, clear parent here, clear parent here. Now the reason why you clear parent is if you set up inverse kinematics with it parented to something else, then you get this kind of like weird loop thing where it just kind of does crazy things. So you might run into that. So if you do, just check to make sure that your control bones have no parents. That means you can use them for actually controlling and basically for user input. The next thing was we needed kind of a bend, right? Because we found that the bend was helpful for knowing which way our elbows move. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to go press 7 to go into top mode, and I'm looking at my arms. And basically, this is upper arm, lower arm, hand. Upper arm, lower arm, hand. So what I'm going to do is select this ball here. This is like my elbow. I'm just going to bring it back. I'm going to select these two. These little things here. I'm just going to bring those forward, and then probably control bones need to go forward too. We probably should just move those with them. Okay. So now there's a bend on our arm. So just like we found with the legs, it helps to have a bend so that Blender knows like, okay, this is the way we want things to bend. Okay, now we need to set up the bone constraints on these control bones we just made. So to do that, I hit tab, I'm in pose mode now. And remember, you set up the bone constraint on the bone that you're moving, not your control bone. So I'm on my hand.R, which has a hand.R control right next to it. I'm going to go hand.R, I'm going to go bone constraint, inverse kinematics, target, armature, bone, this is R, right, hand.R, so hand.R control, chain length to 3, and then basically that's set up, okay? That went really quick, but it's all set up now. See? Isn't that cool? So anyways, Control or Alt G to undo that, and Alt R in case I rotate anything. Now to do that on the other three, so select down here. Here's his foot. I think it's foot.L. We're going to add bone constraint to foot.L, inverse kinematics, target, armature, bone, foot.L control, and chain length through 3. Boom, it's done. Okay, move on to the next one. Select the hand, add bone constraint, inverse kinematics, target armature, bone, hand dot L control this time, because that's hand dot L, so we got a hand dot L control. There we go. Boop, boop, boop. There we go. So now we have inverse kinematics on all of these things. So with all this in place, we actually have what we need to do some cool animations. But what we found before is that when you move the foot, there's some weird things that are happening with the bottom of the house. You see it's just kind of grabbing verts. It probably shouldn't be grabbing and doing weird things with them. So what you got to do is you need to tell Blender, hey, you know, that this bone does not control these verts, okay? And the way you do that is with vertex groups, or you can use weight painting. These are two different methods. So I'm going to focus on the vertex group thing because we already did vertex groups and with our other thing. Did I just undo my bone constraint? No, it's all still good. Okay, so what I'm going to do is select all my bones, Alt G, Alt R, and just it's back to where it was. Also notice this awkwardness. How come this is like that? Well, let's go into our bone and just make sure need to be like S X 0 S Y 0. I'm making sure that the knob on the control and the knob on the hand are lined up with each other, and then when I go into I don't know, I'm gonna leave it alone though. It's good enough. Let's go back into tackling the issue I said I would take care of. So we need to basically tell I need a program in here saying that the leg bone here only controls the leg, right? It doesn't control the house. So this bone is, these bones are called upper leg, right? So I got my upper leg L, upper leg R. And what we need to do is basically say, hey, vertex groups, upper leg L, upper leg R, are just the legs. You know, we're not going to actually influence the house. So to do that, I think you need to be inside the mesh. So we go back into object mode, and then select just the mesh, and then hit tab. And then now we can access our vertex groups. And we got upper leg dot L, okay? Now let's select that. And it's not actually showing up anything. Huh. Okay, that's weird. So when I select upper leg dot R and I say select, okay, yeah, there it is. Okay, so upper leg dot R. You see how it's lighting up the house? That's no bueno. We don't really want that. That means all kinds of bad things. That means our house is being shifted when we're just moving legs. So what we're going to do is just hold shift down, and I press, this is C for circle select, and I'm going to hold shift. And what shift does is it turns it into a deselect. So I'm just going to deselect all these verts. And this is tedious work, but you know, that's why that's, ooh, forgot to hold down shift. Now you might want to leave a little bit on the bottom of the house that it controls, just so that, you know, something is, there's a little bit of overlap, because what you don't want is to create the situation where there's verts that aren't assigned at all. You want them to be assigned to something, you know. So what that means is, oh, forgot to hold shift. It means you don't want to clear it all. You know, it's okay for it to overlap a little, but you just don't want it moving like half your house or half your character or whatever. Okay, Ew. Got to hold shift. Hold shift. Okay. Alright. Ooh. Gotta fix this. This doesn't look good. Let's try to fix that. Hold shift down. Yay. See, I remembered. Holding shift. Okay. Boom. Here we go. Maybe I want to do that. Let's do this too. Hold shift down. Boom. Okay, that looks good. Okay, now let's do, let's deselect all. Ew. Control Z. I forgot to hit assign. Okay, so upper leg.r, I have all the stuff I want to select. Now I say assign. Okay, so what that does, it says, okay, upper leg.r, that's where it is. Now let's try doing the same thing for upper leg.l. So get out of the scene, and then, oh, I think I just realized what's happening. Okay, where are our left verts? Well, our left verts do not exist because right now they're just a mirror modifier. Da-da-da. So this is what you do. You got to go into object mode, and you're on your mesh, and then what you're going to do is say mirror, mirror, mirror on the wall, apply. And now when we go in to our vertex groups, see, now it actually selects it. So there we go. Now let's fix this. Same way as before. Gonna select, deselect all that stuff we don't actually want to control. Now I really wish I had screencast keys. Those are to tell you what buttons I'm pressing. But last time I checked, they weren't supported anymore in Blender. I don't know why. Maybe that's changed. If so, if you let me know. Happy to use screencast keys. Okay, that's close. Let's see. Oh. God. There we go. Okay, now with all of that stuff highlighted, you then are going to go assign. Okay, now let's go back into pose mode on our armature. So tab in object mode, select the armature, go pose mode. And now let's see what happens when we move our foot again. It's still moving it. Okay, let's hope the other one works better. No, still doing it. So what I need to do, oh, but now it's doing different things. You see now, yeah, so, ew, that's kind of a cool pose though. So anyways, obviously this vertex group method isn't working as well as I'd hoped. Now, don't panic, it's okay. I think you can solve this problem using vertex groups, but instead of using vertex groups, I'm going to try something new in this next video. So go ahead and thank you.